calling to say I... Calling to say I...
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Assetto Corsa. Welcome to the Masters of ACC, round number 6 here at the Hungaroring. It's good to see you guys all in chat, and this time around we've got quite the race out here for you. It is 24 minutes of qualifying before we get started, before we get into our 1 hour race, and that is mainly to do with 12 minutes of qualifying now for both classes. The weather seems to be dry. It wasn't dry during practice, so makes me wonder what's yet to come here. It's quite cold, as you can see, based on the track temperature. We are well on the way. It's always very good to see you guys all in chat. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Ricky, RDC Broadcasting, and we should be good to go for this very spectacular edition. As it stands right now, first have one class out, and then we'll have the second afterwards here. Silvers are currently out. It's just going to be a matter of time until they get the lap times in. Now, it's very fun to be back here at the Hungaroring. It's a track that you don't see very often. I think a very fun one. There's always quite a few familiar names on the field for me. De Veldman's a big one. Cody Besselink. Davy Hill is a name that I have very close to my heart. It's all very fun to see how these things are going. And we'll see what the times are going to be. I have no expectations. The notice is quite the split, so we'll see. We'll be rather fast. Let's see. Well, the drivers are prepared then. Currently sitting in their first lap times. Drivers are all just sending out their outlaps, making sure to have some space to work with too. As always, we have the beautiful liveries in together. First drivers are looking to start their last lap. Now, this is Jan Barf, also a driver that's been with us for a while. Good to see. Take the show on the American back. The BMW M4 GT3, a car we don't see on the grid that often anymore, unfortunately. A beautiful looking car. There's Stranija Zoranovic, Serbian driver in his Lamborghini. It's just a matter of time until we get the first laps in here. And I'm Brown looking to set one. This driver, Long Smile Racing. He's been in the league as long as I can remember. Probably before my time, and I did my first broadcast a little bit over 2 years ago. Jarla, it wouldn't be Assetto Corsa Competizione with at least a half a field of Italians on the grid. Definitely know how to drive. Let's see if this time around he can become one of them. Mainly hoping for, of course, is a clean kind of race here, you know, because obviously things get exciting. Things also go wrong here at our Ferrari. I think they dive pretty high up when it comes to the standards. And that's Mark Stewart with a beautiful livery, isn't it? One of my favorites. First time it's been set, it's Alan Brown. Got things started. Beaten to it by Cody Besselink here. Firth goes faster now, 144.5. Give you an idea of how the drivers are standing right now. Barry Gibbons. Also look at the set of lap time, and he goes second fastest already. So his lap times are getting there. As Lindbergh's will take provisional pole very early on in the session. See more yet to come, and we still have another class out there. Jarla, 4th fastest then. It's all about finding your rhythm now. It's like so far they're managing. Just a matter of time until they come around again. You can see that half of the track is quite empty, which allows drivers like Sasha Mayattini to drive in fully clean air. For others, maybe not that much. Number 17 driver. Looking to push in as hard as he can around here. Hungary is maybe not the first country you think of when it comes to motor racing. However, save for them as Mayattini takes second fastest. They are definitely working on it, you know. They've built some pretty cool tracks over the years, the Hungaroring being one of them, but also Balaton Park, which actually has been tested during the Ferrari Challenge Europe. Actually made for some pretty good racing. Of course, the Hungaroring being the oldest one of the bunch and by far the most prestigious. As this track has, for example, hosted many Formula 1 races in the past here. So the silvers are coming out now for the first couple minutes. They have until the clock strikes 12 before we can see the next class coming out. So pros just waiting for their last opportunity to get out. Barry Gibbons, 5th fastest. Atoms are improving. Robinson and Zoranovic yet to come, but other than that, all the drivers have set their laps. Jarla, but doesn't improve, unfortunately. Stays P6 for now. Fastest lap so far is a 144.022, so most likely we're going to see some drivers go out of the way, and it's the 96 that has gone off. Mark Stewart is now teleported back to the pits before we're able to catch on. Mayattini managing. Flat out the sports car. Currently 3rd fastest, but he's going to turn that into provisional pole, and also the first driver cross the 144 mark and go under it. But Timar will do the exact same thing. The Hungarian local driver able to post up a nice time as Jake de Jong's looking to push up the P9. All these drivers now, they're setting decent laps in. We're waiting for Alan Brown to come around. Just to have cut off a little bit here, but is that gonna be enough? It looks like it just about is. So the deltas are hitting. Obviously things still continue. More drivers have gone off here, like the 46. There's a couple minutes to get back out there. Mello here's on a good lap. Looking to shave off roughly 3/4 of a second here. That's going to push him up only one position for now. 145.73. Goes by Mark Stewart, who's back in the pits. Jarla is looking to shave off another 2/10 of his time, and it's not going to bring him any positions, but it will solidify his position as it currently stands. 196 coming in right behind. That is Mr. Michael Firth goes third fastest overall for the time being. That is, of course, because we still have to see that pro class get out there. But you know, in these kind of splits, everyone's ridiculously quick, so it wouldn't surprise me. Some drivers are going to be able to shave off even more time. We'll figure it out. This is Lewis Robinson. Chronicle Racing. Beautiful livery. Nostalgic elements to it. Fun to see. So we now wait for the drivers to come around here. First is the driver car number 2. That is Jake de Jong again. 2/10 quicker than last time around. That's going to push him most likely 2 positions up. Actually, only the one just about misses out. Jan Barf stays just about ahead right there. Mr. Brown, however, will push further. Half a second off. Pushes him 4 places forward. And we have a lot of drivers out there at once. Cody Besseling for Astro Racing Team. Able to get himself into P11. But, you know, the drivers are improving. Villeneuve will also do that. Now it's just only a matter of time to see how this is going to be going. Jan Barf go even quicker. Therefore push himself up, but only the 1 position. It's quite a big field today. 24 drivers out there. Should make for some very good racing on the track. We see some names also very much known from the qualifying. Sorry, from the endurances. Racing in these sprints throughout the week. Track is currently at its fastest. From 38 has gone off. That's Alan Brown, isn't it? Yep, it looks like he's hit the wall. It's resetting to the pits. Yanello looking to improve. And here's Jake de Jong again. Get to go in the final corners. Already shaved 0.4 of a second. That's going to push him up to roughly P11. He's a little bit faster than he usually is through these corners too. So he's going to be able to shave off even more. Or maybe, yes, as it looks like, he's got a gap now to half a second coming into the final corner now. The final hairpin's quite tricky though. He's got to get on the throttle early. And in the end, he's going to settle for what seems to be 0.4 of a second. Pushes himself into the top 10. Which is a nice improvement right there. Juranovic used to be slightly quicker than his previous lap. The delta's now back stuck at 0, so it seems to be that has forced itself out. It's not going to be an improvement in that sense. It's going to most likely park up the car afterwards. No more time to set more qualifying laps in. Barry Gibbons, P4 for now. We're going to be coming in. And will be pushing himself into the provisional top 3. Barf not quicker than he wants to be. Here is Dario Vianello then. He's going to be able to shave off 1/10, maybe 2/10, and goes P8 because of it. 171 car. Giancarlo comes around not to improve a position, but at least to improve his own time. So he's going to be satisfied with it regardless, I think. Michael Firth then back into the top 3. Couple drivers still out there on the grid, but the majority is gone already. And also still going. See, time's going to be running out. Here's the current pole sitter. Provisional pole sitter, I should say. Sasha Maятini. Yellow flag out, but that's because drivers are stopping. No improvement for Maятini at the end. It's going to call it quits. The time has officially gone out for all the other drivers that are in the pro class to now come out. Going to start their laps rather soon. It's going to be interesting to see how they fare and if they're that much quicker than the other drivers. Obviously driving in a different competition in that sense, but maybe not up there elsewhere. Benson up to P8. But Besselink has lost a second somewhere, and oh, that is... I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that looked pretty weird from Cody Besselink. Here is Ernest Limbergs then. Final opportunity to get in there. Drivers need to come into the pits afterwards. Attacks to the apex rather aggressively. There he goes. Gonna finish this lap. All improvement to go top 5. I think that should be as good as finalized here. The other drivers still going are not looking to set faster laps. Les Thomas Timmerk has somehow managed to gain 2/10 in the final 2 corners. Not going to be improving enough, I think, especially considering he was slower than his own delta. There it goes. Fortunately, nothing. So that will sum up the qualifying. Mayatina and P1. Where P2, Firth, 3, Gibbons and Limbrick's right behind. Fastest time being a 43.657. Now we have the other drivers out there. The Pro class. These are the big boys. Not to be underestimated. Drivers with a very much proven track record here. The variety of cars is roughly similar, although I must say, once again I have Benjamin Eck driving in the NSX, which was not something that I was expecting, but good to see. But yeah, some familiar names here. Thomas Knoppek, Benjamin Eck, for example, David Hill, Veldman, they're all here to represent themselves over in the Pro class. Benjamin currently sure he has enough space to try and get things going. It looks like the class is slightly smaller. 25 drivers in the server total, as Amato hasn't set a qualifying lap. Means that there's just, I think if I saw that correctly, only 8 pro drivers in the split right now. Most likely, actually, as I do know pretty certain, it's quite difficult to get into pro. Currently setting their warm-up laps here. See what this can bring him. Veldman out there in the Audi R8. No Audis in the silver split. Interesting as that is. And here's David Hill, representing FRL now. He's been with some teams before and has now settled in comfortably. And also goes P6, but it's already that we see Stemmer going the fastest. Currently P1. Obviously, we don't know how long that will be going on for, but interesting to see. He's already quick out there. Drivers looking to set their first times in. 8 minutes on the clock remaining for the drivers to actually set a lap. And hey, Alan Brown, good to see you in chat. How are you doing, buddy? P12 so far for Nico Veldman. One's yet to be coming in. Benjamin Eck coming up next year in the NSX. He's been a die-hard NSX driver. Honestly, I completely understand why. It's a beautiful car. A bit slept on, I feel, too. See what this one can deliver. P10 overall. Last lap still very much with Timon Stemmer. It's already looking to shave off another 3/10. Then makes a mistake. That's lap over right there. David Hill, however, might be seeing that as an opportunity to get in and challenge his times. He is not even close to pushing yet. He's already shaved roughly half a second off his previous time. Should put him at the front here. And should be good for at least a P2. But then he gains even more. And that should be provisional pole for David Hill. Although his exit into the last corner isn't as good as he wants it to be. Therefore just about misses out. Still plenty of time, of course. Set more improvements here. Jeroen Jonge is going to go and improve. Probably over David Eck. No, Benjamin Eck, excuse me. Appears not, though. There's Benjamin Eck. Still pushing out there. Half a second. Looking to be shaven off right there. First, it's a 29 car of Nico Veldman. He's already a little bit slower than he wanted to be. This lap's not going to be an improvement for him, unfortunately. Just 6 minutes to do it here. That's a little bit more than 3 valid laps. The time isn't ticking just yet here. You do want to be seeing some improvements here. As you can see, the pro drivers now are all the way at the top. It is Knoppek in P2. Able to improve nicely. And splits Stemmer and Hill right down the middle. Jimenek has a good lap. 6/10 shaving off right there. What will the end result be? Well, it's going to be close. He's still not faster than the fastest silver right now. That's a massive improvement for Benjaminek. He's going to be very happy with. Obviously, you don't want to be fighting too much here with the other classes if you don't have to. Obviously, this is all costing him time at the end during the race. So he'd preferably qualify ahead. Have it all in his control. 29 car of Nico Veldman's come to a stop on the side of the track. We do see that other drivers are still continuing. Versus Timo Stemmer. He's already the fastest one out there. It won't be improving this lap. Now, Dale's right behind. He is ever so slightly improving. 0.02 of a second. So it's not really going to get him anywhere. He's at least improving. Mayunga, 17, needs to shoot himself up at some point. And it's only top 15. I guess for the Dutchman, this is a little bit disappointing so far. With Thomas Knoppek now taking provisional pole here. Overall, 143.252. Absolutely mental times. The Mustang behind him continuing. He's going to go back to the pits. It's really impressive there, I have to admit. It is Kiko Gallo. The Ford Mustang GT3, the only driver in the Mustang right now. What a shame, honestly. It's an awesome looking car. It's very, very rapid. The straights, especially. Even though I'm no fan of muscle cars, it is definitely one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen, really, especially in ACC. Stemmer, not happy about being down in P2, so looking to once again shave off some time if he can. The current rate is going to be good for provisional pole again. David Hill resetting to the pits after having made a mistake halfway through the track. Stemmer. Be a little bit wide there. I think that's cost him some time. Indeed, no improvements, but at least he gets a good run out of the final corner now. It's a matter of time for Jeroen Jonge to come in, and he's once again shaving off time. Put himself close and maybe above Kiko Gallo here. It's gonna cut real tight though. Just about misses out. Gap between them. 0.04 of a second. Just to show you how incredibly competitive the field is. There's more drivers still to cross the finish here. For example, number 48. Current pole sitter Thomas Knoppek. This time around, can he improve? It's not looking likely. Indeed, lap time stays the same. WRT Audi R8. Beautiful looking car. He'll be able to do much more. I'm not so certain. I guess we'll find out. Two minutes left to go here in qualifying. David Hill currently P3. Flying Scotsman. Looking to potentially shave off a couple more tenths here. See, for now though, this is just going to be an outlap, so he has one more shot at this afterwards. However, Wolf is improving massively. Is Timon Stemmer again. Giving up 3 tenths, maybe even 4 tenths if he keeps going at this rate. It's a good exit by the looks of it. Coming into the final corner. Not the super tight apex there, but nice line. That gives him a decent exit speed. And that should be good enough to reclaim provisional pole. And that's exactly what the German does. He's able to improve his time significantly. Now we see that Benjaminek is looking to contest. He's half a second quicker than his usual times, which should be good enough to get him a top 3 spot. He is fighting right now, trying to beat Knoppek to him, trying to beat him at his own game, but that's no easy task. He is super quick, but it looks like he's managed. The driver from Sweden takes that second position away. Kiko Gallo doesn't improve and then stops 1 minute left to go here. Thomas Knoppek then. Can he regain that position? It's going to be real tight as it exits. Needs to be good. I don't think he's got it. Ever so slightly misses out. Nope, he's just about got it. Difference is a 1/10 of a second. Showing how incredibly competitive this field is right now. Jongen. A little bit slower. A higher gear there, I think. Is not going to be improving anymore. By the looks of it. Start another lap though. But just a handful of drivers on the track currently remaining here. Knoppek and Stemmers both looking to go faster. If he heals a little bit slower than usual. He's trying to go for it. Is it gonna be anything that he can do? No, not really. Time's now ticking on Stemmer. Improving his lap time again. A 42.850. The first 42 coming out. That's a statement right there. Thomas Knoppek's gonna see it coming and wondering, oh my, how has he even done that? He still has hope. Shave the 10th off his best time so far. He's now looking to go all the way in. We'll see if he can do it. Able to increase the gap to drivers behind him at a minimum, but they've already pitted. Only Jeroen Jonge still out there. Track afterwards. Here it goes, Thomas Knoppek then. Another 10th shaved off. Fortunately not able to cut into the 142s and therefore also gonna be good for P2 overall. Jeroen Jonge most likely not able to get there in time. Sure, he has time to finish the lap, but doesn't seem like he's any quicker than he was. So that's going to be it then. Timon Stemmer claims pole position with Thomas Knoppek right behind. Benjamin Eck in P3, followed closely by David Hill. Gallo and Jongen a little bit further back there. So we're going to be taking a small break while the field gets ready. So let's see if you guys have some time to take a beer or maybe popcorn, whatever you want. You should have time. Yep, that is the case. So make sure you do so now because the race is going to start afterwards. I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Calling to say I to say I
Time to get racing, ladies and gentlemen. The grid has filled up nicely and we're all good to go. Exciting race ahead of us here, most definitely the case. Stemmer on pole position. It's a full grid, 25 drivers total. Can have race another pro split driver actually had a qualifying ban. As the track is ready to go, we are gonna get racing. Exciting stuff ahead here. Everyone's making it through. There's, I was gonna say, a little bit of a bump, but not yet. Wanna get ready as the lights are out and we are underway for 60 minutes here at the Hungaroring. And it looks like this time around, everyone in the field has actually come through nicely. Braking into turn 1, 4 wide even behind. And there's a little bit of contact there between the BMW, who keeps his nose just about straight, and the Lamborghini. I believe that was Ranovic that saw that correctly, but I think all of them made it out alive. A steamer now looking to push in a little bit further. We see one of the BMWs going very wide. I think that was Jeroen Jonge. Oh, there's contact, and ours Lindbergs is facing the wrong way. He is unfortunately stuck there. He's able to eventually keep going here. Looks like all the drivers at the back have made it through. We do see a little bit of the field shaking up right there. Definitely quite a few incidents that have set some drivers that were very quick in the beginning off. It doesn't seem to matter. It's racing after all, and it's hard racing. Bruce Robinson here defending his position from Nico Veldman, but also the Aston Martin that's currently right behind us. Cody Besseling has moved up a couple positions. He's had a good start, being able to avoid the majority of the damage here. Timon Stemmer P2 as Thomas Knoppek has taken over the lead. And well, all that good qualifying time was unfortunately for nothing here. Pinello, P11 for now. It looks like the grid is all settled in. Kjarla driving currently alone. He was the one that started all the way from the back. Nico Veldman, P13. Off to get up the order here, but doesn't really seem to have the pace to storm by in qualifying. Let's see if he can finally find his groove a little bit later on in the race. I mean, same could be said about Kenneth Race, but we haven't seen his pace yet as he didn't qualify. You see Benjamin Eckert chasing David Hill. They're technically teammates. However, I'm pretty sure they won't give each other an inch if it comes to the end of it. But we'll find out. First lap times are in 48s mainly for the fastest drivers out there. Was to be expected, of course. Salvador Amato currently half a second clear of the rest. It's Jan Barf was trying to chase the McLaren ahead of him down, but won't go for a deep dive. And we can already see that Limbers has found his way back in. So it seems to be that he is a very rapid driver. As we saw during qualifying, unfortunately, he was the one that got spun out. So therefore, we can't really see him move up that much further. I mean, Jonge to come out in P9. Looks like everyone is settled in. Jonge has actually gone by Gallo now. Seems to be to me that everyone's looking okay so far. See that Sasha Maitini has moved up. 6 for now. Sure, it's a little bit chaotic out there, but most drivers are now finding their rhythm. It is Garmella that's just lost one to Limericks also, so he's finding his way back, and it seems that he has actually got the lap times to do so. Maybe some drivers also know it's not worth defending. I mean, it's pretty early on in the race. If he's going to be finishing ahead of you anyways, you might as well make it easy for him. If you can hang around in the slipstream and get yourself a nice little tow towards the rest of the pack. Lugalo P10. Chasing the BMW M4 GT3. The Mustang was first at it. They actually used the aero maps for the BMW. They couldn't get the Mustangs in time, but exciting stuff ahead here. 55 minutes and we do have a driver off. That is going to be Michael Firth. And now, yeah, this is an awkward position to be standing in. There is more contact. Oh, that's the Audi of Nico Veldman going into the barrier. And I think the driver ahead of Robinson here, I think that's Villanova. Was he missing a front bumper or was that just his livery? No, that is just his livery. That's good. Yeah, more crashes happening here into what I consider to be usually a grid that has their driving standards on point, but mistakes like this can happen. This is now Timon Stemmer. Sees that Knoppik is getting away. Zoranovic has gone by Kiko Gallo now. He's looking to chase the drivers that are currently faster than him. That is going to be 54 minutes now left. Kenneth Race obviously didn't qualify. He's now looking to get himself up to the front here. Obviously, his main goal right now being to catch up with Kiko Gallo. He's actually lost track of Jeroen Jonge by the looks of it. He has improved, or rather, Gallo has lost a couple positions, unfortunately. As the biggest loser currently is Firth. Now he's lost 16 positions. Nico Veldman actually come into the pits now. Biggest winner currently is Kenneth Race, who's up 8 positions from his qualifying position, quote unquote. So obviously had to start all the way at the back. Is Torina Sovanovic getting very close to Vianello now. A 296. Obviously, if you're Italian, you need to go with one of these beautiful Italian cars. Actually, the car that he's battling is also Italian behind. There's no Serbian cars in the game, as far as I know. Let's see. Let's see if Saranovic has got the pace. We see that the Shong has just lost out on a position here to let the pro driver by. It's not the first one to do so. Plenty of drivers will. The best link, we'll see Robinson also go by. Both driving a very different race, of course, and different priorities. Cody Besselink P15. See if he can push up a little bit further then. Seems like the dust has kind of settled for the majority of drivers. Jan Barf still chasing Jamello down. He doesn't have a way to go by yet. The lap time's currently stable. See Kenneth Ray still looking to come in there. Maybe he has the pace a little bit later on the race. Currently just settling in behind Robinson. Ranovic still trying to close the gap to Vianello. Doesn't seem to be making any progress. We see that Anders Limmerks is currently fighting his way back up to the top. Which he's doing at a mighty pace. He's trying to go by Brown here. Doesn't really have the opportunity to send it down the inside of turn 1. Of course, that's fine. There will be plenty more opportunities to go for something like this. Young at top 8 now. Seeing if he can close the gap down to Gibbons behind him. Currently it looks like the dust is settled for especially the pro drivers, as Knoppek is 1.5 seconds clear of Stemmer. Seems to be having good race pace, and David Hill being extremely quick, driving away from Benjamin Eck, but doesn't really have the pace to keep it with the top 2 right now. Is still aiming for a good podium. You see, plenty will still have to come, so anything can really happen. It is Gabriela Villanova. Just looking at the back of Nico Gallo here, the Belgian Mustang driver. Sorry, the Spanish Mustang driver. Being chased by the Italian right now. Ranovic still well clear of the 2 here. We did see Cody Besselink lose out. As it's going to be Salvador Amata. We're going down the inside. Makes it stick. He can take that position away here, unfortunately. Just not the follow-up just yet from the Dutchman. And Amata's going to be very happy with that he's not able to drive into clean air. Nico Verf is still trying to bounce back. You see Nico Veldman coming out from the pit lane is now all the way behind. He's picked up some big damages as he stands in there. There is Michael Firth going off again. Just not great right now. Not really feeling it. We do see Ernest Lindbergh's here. Jake DeShong is up next, the American driver, but no, he's going to try and send it. It's a shame that that billboard's in the way now. There it goes. Nice to the move there down the inside. Knows he had the pace. Maybe also realize, you know, this is a very different race we're driving. We do still see this group of 4. Haven't really moved an inch. They're still in the back positions. Here's Gabriele Villanova. Still chasing Mr. Gallo right now. And Frey is still looking to come closer. Villanova, and oh, he's now actually got pace to attack, and he's straight all over the place. And there you see Villanova go down the inside. A bolt sent that seems to work out nicely. You're 15 minutes into the race. Great stuff right there. Seems like Gibbons just not able to come clear here. He does still have the driver behind him. And there is the move. Very late on the brakes for Jeroen Jonge. But he goes by. Though Assetto is on the outside now, but really interested in fighting this. I don't think so. They're obviously in different classes, racing different races. But obviously, it is the Dutchman here that wants to really close that gap to the drivers that are currently the top 4, because they haven't really changed that much position-wise. The gaps have gotten a little bigger. The drivers are all still in the same position. It's still this man leading. Thomas Knoppek right now for WRT. Though the fictional team WRT, of course, is leading. He seems to be doing the same lap times as the driver behind him, which is Stemmer. We see Amato into the pits, and we also see that we have our first disconnect of the race. Yes, the racing team driver here, Jan Barf, still currently stuck. Not able to move up quicker, unfortunately, not yet at least. We do see that the attack is very much on here. Zoranovic goes by around the inside, he's ahead of him now. And the next corner is going to be one where he has the inside line. The thing is, though, he needs to give a little bit of space for the 296 to stay with him, because otherwise he would be pushing me off the track. But I think he's just done it. He's well ahead coming into the next corner. He's moved up to P9. He's going to be very satisfied with that. These three still fighting in the same order. Mark Stewart leading the bunch. Obviously just looking to stay ahead if he possibly could. Atto is quite strong in the straight, so you can see just how much he's gaining. So he wants to give it a look, and there he goes. Tries to go down the inside here, late on the brakes perhaps. They're coming into the corner, leaving each other the space. And I think that is just the move right there. Mark Stewart loses the position. Now should be careful, because there's already a driver pushing right behind him. Would love to also go with him, but that is unfortunately impossible. Seems like that gap isn't big enough to shut. But good move by Jan Barf, very clean, but also very respectful racing by Mark Stewart here. He's able to give the space over, totally okay with that. Knows that rather than driving him off the track, the best thing is to do is give him space, knowing that that favor will be returned later on. And yeah, that is now a nice series of moves that we're seeing. And we're seeing that the drivers that are faster, that had maybe a little bit of an unfortunate qualifying and moving up. My main concern for now is that Kikugawa is losing time to Kenneth Race, is putting out some stellar lap times right now. Very consistent compared to, for example, Kikugawa, who's made a couple mistakes here and there, which cost him a couple tenths. And this man, as I say that, well, it's maybe a little bit too much, but he is catching up to Kikugawa and is looking to challenge that because he doesn't want to be lost in his class anymore. Now, obviously, we have seen Nico Veltman retire from the race. Audi's no longer here. There is only one more Audi in the grid, and it currently is the race leader driving in it. Barry Gibbons we're aboard with. He is still behind Jeroen Jongen here. Hasn't really attacked him ever since. Looking to keep this up. And the conditions here looking quite favorable for fast lap times here. The track's at optimum, so it has had enough rubber laid down on it to really get that grip going. And the wind is completely zero right now. So by the looks of it, things are looking well. It is temperatures that are 15 and 20 degrees respectively for the environment and the track. So we're not going to have any problems with keeping the tires warm or them overheating. It's not this early into the race. And we'll see what happens. Now there's nothing. Barry Gibbons. He wants to right now. See if he can go by. Doesn't really seem like he has the opportunity to. And Cody Besselink loses out another spot to Limburgs. He was finding his way back right now. He's having a great race. Just unfortunate that he was the one that got punted because it looks like he has space. Match up with the big boys. But actually getting there is quite difficult because there's just so much space that he would need to regain. There's Robinson coming around. Not moving as of yet. Cody Besseling still chasing the Latvian. We do see Cody Besseling now is also just whatever he can. Find some good space to race in. Oh, and that is, I think, a yellow. Yes, that is Mark Stewart that's gone off. That's never a nice feeling here. Obviously, these things happen. You have the opportunity to. Do want to see if you can actually make up some place. But this time he's pushed too hard. He's gone off. That's the end of that one right there, unfortunately. Oh well, that's life sometimes. Race is still pretty long. But plenty of opportunity. Bring this to where you want it to be. So Robinson here, chasing Gallo. Plenty of opportunity. Get closer in, if you will. This is now definitely a little bit of a weird spot. Drivers that are all still here. You know, our drivers that we all have seen have got good pace. And oh, that is Ranovic going by Gibbons down the inside. And actually, look at that. Pinello sees the opportunity, sees it happen right in front of him, and is now seeing if he can get involved into that. If he's able to capitalize on this, could be a 2 for 1, but at the moment it's not looking like it will be. There it goes. 4 drivers here that have got quite a gap. Obviously, Gallo is not in the same class, but regardless, it's quite nice to see that the drivers here are pushing to the absolute limit. And regardless of them, they're able to produce an entertaining race. I think that is most definitely what you can call it here. Let's see if there's any more in it here. A lot of drivers have actually closed up on each other, so the faster drivers were able to get by the slower drivers and are now pushing. Seeing what this can bring them. Guess we just gotta figure it out. Look at this now, all the drivers here within 1 second. This Jeroen Jonge close to Zoranovic, and then there's a small gap, and then there's Gibbons, Vianella, Villanova, and Gallo and Robinson all together at once. The gaps are closing down here, so it looks like we're gonna get quite the epic finale here, as we are roughly halfway through the race already. Things have been going quickly. This Zoranovic out here, P8. They're getting up pretty close. Benjamin Eck has lost a couple. Why is that? What's happened to him? Driving a little bit slower on the straight there. But we do see some drivers now go by. They're actually different class here. We see that Vianello's come in for a pit stop. He's going to be losing quite a few positions because of it. Now we see Mark Stewart going by Vianello and also Garmello. They've both gone in here. Serve a pit stop. Assume there's going to be more to follow here. That allows some drivers to kind of get free. Trying to see if they can find a place in clean air. This is going to be quite the exciting race. Now we see that Maятini has closed the gap on the leader of the silver class. It's team right now is going to be stressing a little bit. Getting closer and closer. More players coming in. And here's Zoranovic to get up more. Jongen is the next target here. This man is driving a very solid race right now. You see now Benjamin X also come into the pit. So now he's going to be losing time. But in the end, we'll see where he ends up in traffic then. Some more drivers keep pitting in. Especially around the 30-minute mark. This is now going to be pretty close between Ranovic and Jeroen Jonge, but also Meatini, who's ever so slightly ahead. Good to be pushing in. This is where we'll also see some action. The drivers that are currently a little bit further down the pack. This is Jan Barf, who's up to P15 now after all the pit stops. Looks like he's quite comfortable. There he goes. At least the first. We see that Kjærlik goes by Jan Barf, and we also see that the drivers that have pitted now are back in. Gallo now actually finds himself in P21. Despite having done a pit stop, Benjamin Ack is a little bit further down the field, so he seems to have lost a little bit more than the driver ahead of him, fortunately for him. Obviously, Tini here is just so close now to Tima, right? Tima's just fending for his life in the Aston. Looks like now gap is just stuck at 0.4, so it's actually not getting any closer now. You see that Kiko Gallo catching up to a Mato, who had taken an alternative line here. Salvador Mato not really having the greatest of races right now. Dangling down the field a little bit more than he perhaps would have anticipated. We're halfway through now. Time's going to be ticking away, of course. And the drivers, so some of them are going to be very happy with how things are going, but with the pit stop still yet to serve, it might be looking different by the end of it. I guess we're going to find out. As for now, it is Thomas Knoppek still in the lead here. That hasn't changed at all. And, well, that leaves the drivers here finding themselves now a little bit disappointed perhaps. They want to be able to contest, right? But it looks like Timon Stemmer doesn't have the pace for it, or at least not yet. Shame, really. Now, this is where I mainly start to wonder, can Zoranovic get any closer? Jeroen Jonge is so close by right now. It just looks like I'll have to find a way by, at least not yet. Three drivers remaining now, so we've seen another driver disconnect in the meanwhile. Here is Firth. to get up closer. Now we see Stemmer and Villanova both going out there. No, actually, no. Looks like, yeah, okay, so he has come in. But in the meanwhile, it showed that he was overtaken because the pit stops a little bit further up. Obviously, that doesn't really matter, does it? Here is Alan Brown side by side with Jake DeJong. Looks like he is able to get the overtake successfully done now. Thomas Knopfback, after his pit, is finding himself now in P11, where he needs to move up. That means that we temporarily have a new race leader, that being David Hill. The current top 9 not having served their pit stop. And then we have Knopfback, who has... And also Stemmer, but he's a little bit further down in P14. So obviously, drivers that haven't pitted yet will have to do so eventually. Michael Furfier goes by Mark Stewart, who's made a small mistake before. Here's Jan Barf, Astro Racing Team, now coming in to serve his pit stop together with Kjarla, Cody Besselink, and we also see Jeroen Jongen in the pits. I mean, that the order is definitely shaken up here, but it's mainly because some drivers haven't pitted yet. They're looking to stay out a little bit longer and utilize this clean air until the faster drivers come up to them. It's Dario Vianello here. Can he deliver anything? I'm not looking like it. Still stuck behind the car of Zoranovic for now. They have similar lap times, so it's going to be hard coming by. Gallo has lost another position to Gilanova. Now, Kjarla finally leaving the pit. Jan Barf yet to follow. There we can see him in the background then as Chini, the driver currently in P2, comes in. See no kind of phrase coming into the pit stop, so everyone's kind of serving them now. It is still Hill Robinson and Alan Brown that have to come in. And then that, everyone served them. With the exception of Mark Stewart, who's a little bit further back in the field. Eventually, obviously, is also going to have to come in. 23 minutes left to race. And obviously, as that time is ticking in, if you want to get a move on, it's probably your chance to do so. Inella half a second here away. See if he can make something happen. Jake DeJong's lost another position here to Cody Besselink, who had been the faster driver. what feels to be the entire race. David Hill now also will come into the pit. So Lewis Robinson is now temporarily the new race leader. But we all know that's pretty temporary here, as, you know, Thomas Knoppik is yet to regain that lead. Obviously, he's going to go by David Hill. We see that Timon Stammer is made his way by Alan Brown, who is now also going to serve his mandatory pit stop, leaving it just up to Mark Stewart, Lewis Robinson to come in. David Hill is going to be standing still here, but the question is mainly where is he going to come out. It's going to be behind Timon Stammer, as was to be expected. I'm mainly curious where that puts him in terms of time, because he is already out there. And it feels like the gap is a little bit smaller now. So 2 seconds, definitely able to attack if he wants to. Knoppik's just going to hang back here into P2 with the confirmation now that it's going to stay dry the entire time. You're pretty safe that that's going to happen. Alan Brown obviously losing out on position with Young and gaining another one. And now finding himself in P4 in the class. Interestingly enough, if you discard Robinson, you can see that they still have some decent position. From 4 to 6 is all silver drivers. Young is a little bit further back. And, well, you see that Kiko Gallo together with Benjamin Eck are still fighting very much for P12 and 13. A little bit further down the field than they probably would have anticipated, but that just is how it is. And between these two, this position could make or break your season at the end of the day. So you're going to be fighting for it hard. See if they can make it happen. And Brown comes out and then actually goes for what appears to be a disconnect. So I think he's called a quit. Yeah, there's one driver gone and I think it's him. Or DNF's right there. Benjamin Eck, B14. To get back into it. You know, would like to get up close. Mayatini, but still very far gone from the drivers out there. Benjamin Eck finds himself still ahead of Gallo and Race also, but Race is a little bit further down the field. They're all still fighting for position at the end of the day. Kierla, Shake the Shunk defending. Gap between them is pretty marginal at this point. Benjamin Eck here still so close to Villanova, but mainly worried about the drivers behind him, of course. See what these can do. He's currently being held up by the drivers battling ahead of him, but they are fighting for position, and he is very much not. He's in a different class, which is what makes this difficult. Robinson now finally comes in. Means that Knoppik is once again the race leader. These three mainly fighting now. It is Mark Stewart in P5 being chased by Meatini as well as Jeroen Jonge. A freeway battle here. These three are looking to go wheel to wheel here into the chicane. Looks like Mark Stewart's got him for the time being. And the thing is, see, Mark Stewart is yet to come in, so could argue that it's actually holding him up right now. He's obviously very much entitled to defending this if he wants to. Meatini now goes ahead of Mark Stewart. He's lost both positions and is probably thinking of pitting soon. Malovic still P8 here. Mark Stewart is ahead, so he's gonna have to go by at some point. As long as he's not pitting, that is. Villanova here, still currently fighting for his life. It's Benjamin Eck behind him, the faster class. But the thing is now that he's actually battling with Robinson. So they're in a similar order right now, making this incredibly difficult to really try and actively fight, because obviously you want to make sure you're also safe through this. So I'm not exactly sure what the plans are here. We do see Villanova go by here and going very much wheel to wheel, as one of them has to just kind of cut across. That is Villanova. Yeah, that's not a great way of doing things, and that will obviously be penalized. Benjamin Eck comes in. Benjamin Eck now tries to go down the inside. It was Robinson getting himself involved, but it's actually Gallo still behind. Just waiting for a good opportunity. They haven't gotten him yet, but looks like that's only a matter of time. There we see another overtake. Benjamin Eck's just gone by Fedora Amato. Waiting for that exact moment. Obviously with just 15 minutes to race, the battles are still going quite hard. It is still this man leading. That hasn't changed. It's Thomas Knoppek doing a lot of the heavy lifting for his team right now, and he's just in such a good spot. He knows this too. It's just all about keeping it clean. A little bit further down the field, we do still see some hefty battling. Includes these ones. As that is now still the freeway battle going on. It's Mark Stewart still involved, but he's obviously yet to come in. So interesting to see that he actually hasn't bothered going for the pit stop yet. I don't know exactly why that is, but it seems to be that that's the game plan for now. Meatini sees that the Aston Martin of Timar is so close to him. This is obviously for the lead in the class. So if he wants to do this, he's going to have to find a way by following 13 minutes. makes you wonder now. Can he find a way around in the coming 15 minutes? It seems like Timar is doing slightly better average laps. The gap is absolutely marginal. He knows that too. Looks like Gibbons has now actually finally made his way by Mark Stewart, and they're probably all telling him, well, I want you to pit so badly so we can get rid of you. Harsh as that sounds. Gallo here sees that Amatos lost his place to Robinson. He would like to be able to sneak by. Fortunately, it's all backed off, so not able to do so. As of yet, that is. Safe to say, this is not over yet. Benjamin Eck goes by Villanova down the inside here as Vianello is just a little spot to Harry Gibbons. Benjamin Eck now side by side with Mark Stewart goes by Villanova. Has also picked up the pace here and is also going by, and it looks like Stewart's gone off. He's facing the wall. That's always a painful conclusion. It seems to be the case. This is still so close. Jeroen Jonge then around the outside. Gillanova's picked up a drive-through. Never a good sign. I think we can agree on that. Jonge then back to P6, now very much ahead of Eck, of course, and now Gillanova's going to come in to service drive-through. Mark Stewart probably going to pit soon. Hasn't already. Actually, don't see him pop up anymore. Where has he gone? So we're down to 21. Has that been a disconnect? And it might have been. Looks like we've lost another driver. We're down to 21 at this point. Kiko Gallo then like to get involved himself here. He has the opportunity to, that is. Safe to say. Are getting a little bit more worrisome. It's Benjamin Eck here trying to still come around Vianello. We still have these three fighting, including Jeroen Jonge being the faster class car in the middle. Benjamin still stuck. The top three seems to be decided for now. Zoranovic then could get by Jeroen Jonge, and he has a shot. Getting closer to Mayatini. So they're getting there. just 8 minutes left here. That's a little bit more than 4 laps coming in. Benjamin Hick now P8, P10, excuse me. 0.3 behind. It's mainly all settled apart from these three. Still battling for the lead. Now, it's Timar actually in P4. Then we have Mayatini right behind. And Timar currently also being the class leader. And then a little bit further down, we have Brunjongen and also Serb being Saranovic. Look at how hard they're fighting. Maybe it's that the sent down the inside there was looking like it. There's no room, however. Nice defensive skills here. Over from the Aston Martin driver. He has picked up some damage a little bit earlier in the race, apparently. As you can see by how his bonnet was looking. It's still fine at the end of the day. Benjamin Eck. Still stuck here. This is the battle we should be focusing on right now. Some aggressive flashing there. Driver's not happy. Especially considering Jeroen has no business fighting in this. But yeah, he's just stuck there. That's, I think, the most uncomfortable truth right now. They're so close. Look at these four. Order hasn't really changed for a long while. That doesn't seem to really matter. There it looks like it's finally changed. Yes, Miatini has gone by. Team are not able to defend, not able to hold on. That's going to shake things up most definitely. That leaves it with 5 minutes left to go in the race. Visaranovic now in P6. And Jeroen Jonge is also looking to close that gap if he potentially could. Time to figure it out though. We do see 0.6 now. Vianello looking to come up closer. But now it is Timur leading again. Etini still behind. Zoranovic getting up closer if he can. Vianello then 1 second off here. Time ticking away here. 4 minutes left to go. End of race 0.3 off right now. Seems to be matching race pace. Still half a second behind, so this is still the main battle we got to be watching here. Yatini all clear to go. It looks like Timar still holding down the inside, and as long as he keeps doing this, there just doesn't seem to be a way to go by, unfortunately for him. Very much unfortunate, but all good. Jeroen Jonge no longer wants to be involved in this. He wants to also let him battle it out. Great thing is they all have so similar race pace. Which I can only say is a good thing. For some very entertaining racing right now. It looks like the battle not over yet here. We're still leading, but now they're alongside again. Doesn't seem like he can find his way in just yet. But keeps trying. Keeps waiting for the opportunity. Would absolutely love to take right now. It looks like Timar is just able to hold on. He wants this race win in his class, and he's so close to getting it right now. In the meanwhile, kind of race made his way by Gaio, at least for the higher position in his class. Here now we see Martini has gone by Zoranovic. Fortunately, is left out. A little bit right there. This leaves it as follows. Leader on the final race, final lap of the race. Thomas Knoppek still very much leading here. And it looks like David Hills just about managed to close the gap to Stemmer. He was going a little bit slower than he would have liked. This is where they plan on going then. Drive through for Gaia on the last lap. That's quite devastating. David Hill's so close getting this overtake done right now. But he hasn't managed yet. Even though he would absolutely love to. Doesn't seem like there's much that he could do. Tini now once again so close to getting the overtake done, but he Aston keeps defending the exact same line, but it's a good line. That point on the wrist, just nothing that he can do. He knows it. Looks like the stop before go 30 now out for Gaio 2. The leader is finished. A little bit further behind. We're going to see Stemmer. It's looking good right now for a position where he wants to be. And yeah, there it is then. P3 is David Hill at the end. Timar looking to now come in. There it is indeed. He's going to be able to do it. He wins the silver race. Albeit it wasn't easy. He manages to just about do it. Things now will settle. Martini P4, Zoranovic P5, Johan right behind him. We have Gibbons, Eck, Piano, and then Robinson. Kind of race is in the end able to deliver a fairly good race here. There it goes. Well, the last couple drivers here. Glanova's going to be finishing P14 overall. Decent race from him, but nowhere near the top, unfortunately. It will definitely come. There it is. I think that's everyone finished in heat. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I very much have. It's been a pleasure providing the commentary for you. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it much as I have. And until next time, next week, your regular commentator should be back from. That should be good to go. And yeah, great to see all you guys tuning into the chat. I very much appreciate it. And see you guys later. Bye-bye.